Hello everybody, I'm Sandwan from Group 5 and now I would love to present the language focus part. To be more specific, to the topic is about how to stress polysyllables. So for your information, polysyllable is a word with 3 or more syllables. So before getting down to business, I want to remind you about some of the familiar terms when it comes to syllable weight. First of all, syllable weight determines how strong a syllable is pronounced. Here we have two words which share the same word family, agony and agonize. Now compare the ending of the two words. So one of them has a strong syllable, the other one has a weak syllable. Before jumping right into conclusion which has which, let's see the definition of strong and weak syllable. Strong syllable is a syllable with a long vowel or a diphthong or a short vowel combined with a consonant. Here are some examples. While weak syllable is a syllable with a short vowel without a consonant, and any syllable that has a square. Here are some examples. Apparently, back to the point, according to the theories, agonize has a strong syllable, since the end of the word has a long I sound. On the contrary, agony has a weak syllable. Next, I want to show you some examples for short and long vowels. Now, I assume that you already get used to the terms strong and weak syllables. So now, I want to introduce to you some of the rules that help us stress the syllables more precisely. Remember that following rules only apply to polysyllables. Regarding now, if the penultimate syllable, as known as the second syllable from the last, is strong, it is stressed. For example, conversion, potato, apartment. In the meantime, if the penultimate syllable is weak, the antepenultimate is stressed. Instead, for your information, an antepenultimate syllable is a third syllable from the last. For example, library, prominent syllable. Now we move on to the verb part. So if the final syllable is strong, it is stressed. Take volunteer, understand, and so on for examples. Next, if the final syllable is weak, the penultimate is stressed instead, like endanger, recycle, and defer. Following that, we also have some rules for adjectives. So if the penultimate syllable is strong, it is stressed. For instance, important, unstable, sporadic. And when the penultimate syllable is weak, the antepenultimate is stressed instead. And we all can see that this rule is pretty similar to the one of now. So for example, physical, opposite, accurate. Speaking of adverb, we have only one rule, which is a bit different from those of nouns, verbs, or adjectives. Technically, strong or weak syllables have nothing to do with the adverb stress placement. As far as we can tell from the examples, there is no change in the stress placement of an adverb with the ending "ly" compared to its root word For instance, accurate, accurately, sporadic, sporadically, mechanical, mechanically. Next, we are gonna figure out together how different suffixes have different stress placements. We categorize them into two particular groups. The first one is self-stressed suffixes. More specifically, these suffixes have the stress on themselves. They include suffix "e" in examine, refugee, or "ear" in pioneer, and so on. Eventually, here comes the latter group, which is a group of step and stressed suffixes. As its name implies, these suffixes have stress on the syllable preceding them. Basically, this group comprises suffixes "us" in simultaneous and "graphy" in cinematography, and so on. So now that is the end of this language focus part. Thank you very much for watching and listening.